start off by introducing the team. I'm Nelma. So I'm the founder of NELMA London, the sustainable digital media platform that we have here, and it's based in London. And then we have Marina, who's over in Albania. You've been coordinating with her. And then we have Laura, who's here in London with me. And then we also have Sandy, who's over in Taiwan.
Hello, Sandy.
Yeah. So we wanted to, I know you've been liaising with Marina, and what we wanted to do was to get you on our platform just because we're really excited about your brand. And I know it's only a year old, or it's coming up to it being a year old since you launched the brand. And we really wanted to know what concept was behind that, and also as well we want to get to know a bit more about you and how you started off and how the journey of ActandBe has evolved from when you had the idea up into where it is now.
Okay. Well, my name is Laura González Arriaga. I'm from Spain, from a small town in Spain. And I have been working my whole career in fashion, in different brands of fashion and beauty. And I have worked in the marketing and communication departments. So I have been working there for more than 10 years now. And at some point, 2 years ago, I was changing my lifestyle to a more sustainable lifestyle. And I was looking for brands that were more sustainable, fashion brands, and also local brands in Spain. But it was quite complicated for me. I couldn't find many. Most of them, they weren't the style I was looking for, the patterns, the designs I liked. So it was quite complicated, and especially in sports clothes. So I was also a little tired of feeling that the fashion industry wasn't doing it as good as they could do it. But I was also checking out different brands that were trying to make it in a better way, trying to produce clothes in a more sustainable way, trying to work with people, respecting their rights, the proper wages. They knew the people who made the clothes, and I was part of the wrong side of the fashion industry, and I wanted to be part of the right side. So, well, I have never thought about starting a business before. I was always working for other companies. My goal then was to work for a nice brand, like even luxury brands. And I still love that. I love fashion. But at some point, at the end of 2018, I was just really, really tired. So I decided, well, let's think what can I do. And after some months, I decided that I have to launch my own project. And from the last months of 2018 to now, it was the process of creating ActandBe.
Why did you pick activewear? Because being in the fashion industry,
I started to do some research in the Spanish brands that were already sustainable, and I couldn't find any that was activewear. So I thought there was a niche there that someone had to fill, and I also was researching in what was happening in other countries, and there were very nice brands in the US, in the UK. Some in the Netherlands, in Germany, but no, there weren't any that was made and produced in Spain. So we in Spain, we have a strong, we had in the past a stronger fashion industry, the production part. I mean, we had workshops that are able to produce quite big amounts of clothes. But in the last decades, this was being deteriorated. Most brands started to produce in other countries, and I understand that it was cheaper, it was easier, it was so I think now there are some small brands that are coming back to produce also in Europe. And in Spain, we have high rates of unemployment, and we have lots of people, especially all adult women over 50 that cannot find a job. And so I think if small brands start to produce back in Spain, we can revert a little bit that.
Yeah.
I don't mean that we shouldn't produce in other countries. I think we can produce also elsewhere, but only if we respect the people rights, if we know what's happening inside the workshops or the factories. And I couldn't do that myself because my business for now is quite a small business, and I started by myself, and it was much more complicated to travel to other countries to check all that. I wasn't able to do that, but I was able to do this in Spain. So that's why I decided to do this activewear brand, produce completely
just
locally.
To touch a bit more about when you was speaking on, because I know within the fashion industry, there's a lot of brands that have started not started, but it's been an ongoing thing where they've taken their manufacturing company and they use in developing countries in order to be able to manufacture their clothes. And back to what you were saying, because that then stops other countries, not so much stops, but then that brings a decline in terms of jobs within those countries when it comes to manufacturing, because you have larger factories in developing countries that are making clothes at a lower cost point, and also the working environment for them isn't really ethical, isn't really looked into as much as smaller companies where you can follow that that production chain all the way to the end. So from what you've seen now with Spain and integrating that with more sustainable fashion brands, are they taking care? Is it more so quality than quantity in terms of the manufacturing process where it is now?
Yeah, what I have seen working with my brand is that for a small business it's much easier to control everything, because big businesses, I have worked in big businesses before, but only as I said, in marketing and communication. But I knew that it was really, really complicated to check until the last steps of the production process. You cannot, you make an agreement with someone who is a business person, and you make the deal with them, with these people, but you don't usually go to the factories, you don't usually check that. And as a small business, you can do that, especially if you do it not far from where you are. But even if you do it far, you can travel there and check, because it's something that they produce in a short time. You can see everything. So it's just, you can manage it yourself. So it's easier. That's why I think lots of small companies, they can offer more transparency about what is going on in the production process. And big companies is really difficult. I understand that for them, if they want to be transparent, they have to change basically the whole system.
Everything.
Because it's really, really complicated to know that. I don't know how can they do it. I know that some big companies are trying to make a huge effort for changing that, but I don't think it's really possible if we don't change all of it. So.
But then it's a knock-on effect as well, because like everyone wants everything fast, now.
Yes.
So it's also consumers also play a part in these companies producing things at such a high volume, especially quickly, and also as well the people that they employ is not being looked after as best, because everyone in terms of consumers that like fast fashion want it now.
Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. We need to change our minds. Well, if we want to change, to start being sustainable in a global way for the planet and for the people, we just need to change our minds, and we shouldn't think on now. And I see this, I want it now in my house or in my closet. I think we have to start valuing clothes more, because I think in the last decades I have felt it myself. Clothes have lost their value. I mean, you buy a dress for 20 pounds or 20 euros, I don't mind, and then you wear it once, and then it's in your closet, you don't mind, it's there, you don't wear it again, and then after 1 year you just throw it away because you don't mind, it's just 10 pounds, 20 pounds, anything. And in the past, it wasn't like that. I remember talking to my mom when she was young. She remembers one coat she bought that it was 1 month wage. And she was saving for this coat. And she valued it and she wore it for 10, 15 years. And she loved it. And it was perfect for her. And it was very good quality. But who spent 1 month wage in a coat anymore? I mean, I'm not saying that we should do that, but I'm saying that we should value more what we buy, and we should do more on buying quality clothes that really that fit us well, that make us look better, and that make us look feel good about it, and that are nice, and the touch is comfy, and I don't know, and we know how they were made, and where, and who made them, and which materials. And they also, I think fashion brands could offer like an experience with their clothes, and even if you are not luxury brand, you can do it with a t-shirt that costs, I don't know, 30 pounds. And basically, if you are wearing it many, many times, it's worth it. It's not a huge amount of money for anyone. But we need to change
our buying habits. Because I was going to say, I come from a large family, and when I was growing up, because I had so many brothers, and what my mother would do is when one brother got older, the other brother would then get the clothes from the older brother.
I used
so
to
it was like,
yeah.
So it was like saving in costs, but then also as well, it's like just thinking about it now, it's like when you have like even just with vintage brands and stuff like that, even though it felt like a hand-me-down for my brothers, like my mother was thinking about in terms of being cost effective, and also as well, why waste the clothes? And instead of going to buy a whole new outfit for the younger brother, you could just literally just recycle it from the older brother and then just hand it down. So yeah, I totally understand when you say about changing our buying habits, and also as well looking at how we're using our clothes instead of buying items that is sort of throwaway.
Yeah, the thing you said about your family is happened the same to me. I have a younger sister, and she was always complaining that she was wearing my old clothes, but they were perfectly fine clothes. They were not really, because as a child sometimes you just grow very fast and you don't have time to wear the clothes, so they are basically new. And she never had new things, and she was always a little bit mad at me. But of course, my mom decided it didn't have sense to buy new clothes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think it's just a mindset. I think for the older generation.
I think this happens everywhere, ladies, so don't worry about it.
Okay. That is a very sustainable thing. So,
Laura, the meaning of your brand is being active. Being active about what?
Well, I think it's two things. The first is, as we are an activewear brand, I want to say to women that we should be more active in our lifestyle, that we should practice more exercise and do more physical activity anyway, because I think women sometimes we have been focusing on exercise only for beauty, only to feel thin and beautiful, and I think we need to do it because we need to feel healthy and strong. So I want to say that to women, that we should be more active in our life, but not for the wrong reasons, but for the good reasons that make us feel good and confident and powerful. And I want to communicate that. But on the other side, I also choose a word who has the word act, because I think now it's time to act, to make a movement on the on fighting climate change, on changing the way we are doing buying stuff in our society. And we need to change our consumption ways, and we need to do something. So act also to everyone, and do something to make it better. I think it's the time. It's the last time we have to change this. So yeah, I want also to communicate that. Yeah.
That's great. Why did you choose to create an eco-friendly brand? Which is your main goal?
Well, my main goal, well, I mean, in a global level, I would like to just being part of the good side of fashion industry. And also, I think if there are lots of small brands who are producing sustainably, I think the big business, the big companies, they will feel the pressure also to change, because myself as a small brand, I cannot change anything. Well, I can change what a small amount of consumers do, but the biggest change will be when all the big companies that are now working all around the world, if they change, the world will change. So I think this is also to put some pressure in these big companies. And I also, in a personal level, I created this because I wanted to feel that I was doing the right thing. I wasn't comfortable during my last years working for other brands with what I was doing. I mean, it was okay. I was doing a creative job. It was nice, but I thought that I wasn't doing anything good for our society. And doing this, I know that I probably doing a really small thing, but it's something. So in a personal level, I also did it because I wanted to feel okay with my job.
Design processing when it comes to picking out different materials. Can you talk to us a bit more about the different materials that you use in your designs, and also as well why you've chosen these materials?
Yes, we try to choose materials that are the most sustainable possibilities that we can find for a small business. Now there is a lot of research going on, and there will be lots, well, there are already lots of fabrics that are sustainable and that are really nice and easy to make, and but it's difficult to get access to those fabrics when you're a small business. So we have started with the basics, and we will try in the future collections to do to use some more new fabrics. But for now, we are using organic cotton. That is a classic and sustainable fashion. It's much better than a regular cotton because it saves water. It doesn't use pesticides when it grows. It's good for the people who work in the lands farming the cotton, and it's when they produce it. And then we use also a bamboo fabric. Bamboo is a lovely fiber because it grows naturally without needing any chemicals, and it grows very fast. You can see a plant of bamboo growing, and you can see it with your eyes, like day by day. It grows very fast, so it's really sustainable. Doesn't need much chemicals, and also when you make the fabric, it's very easy. It's really soft and is also good for the gym. It's very nice because it doesn't go bad with the sweat either, and it's good. And then we also use polyester, but we use the recycled one, which is the only problem with polyester is that it's not biodegradable. But people are really used to use that for the gym. It's quite complicated to change that.
Is it locally sourced?
The fabrics are produced in Barcelona, here in Spain. Some of the threads, they don't come from Spain, of course, but the production of the fabric itself is done here.
Okay, that's great.
So how about the packaging?
Well, we tried to minimize all our impact, and we decided we wanted the packaging fully biodegradable and also fully recycled and recyclable. So the best way to do it was using a recycled cardboard box that is very simple. It also has only one ink that is not polluting, and it's minimal packaging. But I think our customers like it because they want it to be the minimum possible waste. And packaging is a huge part of an online brand. We only sell online. We don't sell in the stores for now.
Laura, how do you manage to be 100% sustainable?
Well, it's very difficult to be 100% sustainable. We try to be as more sustainable as we can. So yeah, we try to minimize the impact of the fabrics, the impact of the packaging. We try to have the best shipping way. We have a carbon neutral company who does the shipping also. So yeah, we try to minimize the impact of all our actions, and that's how we try to be more sustainable the most we can. Also producing locally for us is good because we have our storage place in Spain, so we don't need huge transports from other countries, so that's also a way to reduce the impact. And we also have a project where we plant one tree for every order we receive in our website. And that way we also try to compensate a little bit our activity, because every activity, even the most sustainable one, has an impact in the planet. So we try to compensate it with planting one tree. But still, I think every business has an impact. We should be the best we can.